Like Charlie after her, Suzanne Shea built the foundation for what the MDSC is today. When she took to the helm of the board of directors in 2004, Suzanne recognized immediately that the all-volunteer MDSC needed to grow if it were to be around for future generations of people with Down syndrome and our families. With her background in business, Suzanne understood that the only way to expand smartly was by developing a long-term comprehensive strategy. This would allow the MDSC to continue effectively to serve the Down syndrome community while mapping out an even brighter future. Thus, it was under Suzanne's leadership that the MDSC embarked on its very first strategic planning session. For some of us, of course, the prospect of developing a strategic plan was about as appealing as watching paint dry. But again, Suzanne was visionary. She understood intrinsically its value as a blueprint for a better tomorrow. Throughout the process, Suzanne spurred each member of the board of directors to think deeply and carefully about the process. She welcomed fresh ideas, she encouraged debate, and set an example of tirelessness that rubbed off on everyone. It was during Suzanne's tenure that the board developed a bold vision of a bigger, better MDSC with a paid professional staff. But she also recognized that the MDSC wasn't there yet, and she didn't hesitate for a second to do whatever it took to keep the organization going and growing. Of course, it must be mentioned that for Suzanne, it was never about ambition for ambition's sake. The mother of 3 children, she was driven not by a desire to get ahead, but by her passion to make the world a better place for people like her daughter, Caroline, who has Down syndrome. By the end of her presidency, the Mass Down Syndrome Congress would never be the same. Because of her leadership and vision, she had launched the Down syndrome movement in Massachusetts skyward. Please join me in welcoming Suzanne Shea to the stage.
Thank you, Steve and Louise. And I understand Paul couldn't be here today. Paul was formerly Caroline's soccer coach. I want to thank you for this recognition, which I accept on behalf of my entire family, particularly Caroline. It was 16 and a half years ago that Caroline was born on a warm day, very rainy day in July. Upon accepting the congratulations from our obstetrician, along with the new diagnosis, we were looking for more information. Barnes & Noble was our resource at the time, as the internet was just getting started with nothing online. As baby Caroline was being transferred from Salem Hospital into Boston, with Chris following the ambulance, a young couple walked into my hospital room with photos of their toddler son, who also had Down syndrome. The couple was from Parents First Call, and they alleviated many of my initial fears. That's how we discovered the MDSC and Parents First Call. Later, we approached the MDSC board with the concept for a website. My husband, Chris, garnered a donation from IBM for server space, and my sister, Michelle, and brother-in-law, Brian, offered web design, which way back then was really technical. And that's, again, where our relationship began. I joined the MDSC board. Chris later joined the MDSC Foundation board. At the MDSC, we made lifelong friends, and it would take me too long to name everyone, but the Mishrals, right here from Worcester, the Watts family, Moranians, the Gadd boys, Sinos, the Scottcos, and of course, our dear Alan Crocker. For me, the monthly Thursday night board meetings started in Larry Bartlett's living room in Arlington, then moved to Jim Watts' living room in Reading, to Suzanne Sinos in Medfield, then to my corporate office in Peabody. We were building traction for the MDSC and had a lot of fun along the way. We celebrated the MDSC's 20th anniversary with the Black Tie Gala event, and we had guest speakers from the Celtics coaching staff. The Buddy Walk grew and grew along the lake, and the proud initiative which we began was the Educators Forum, which allowed teachers to share best practices and to network across the state. We were pushing the envelope. The board developed a strategic plan in the direction that was innovative and set the bar high for an all-volunteer organization. I'm proud to be part of that historical foundation with a great board of directors and, again, as I said, lifelong friends. I'm glad that we were able to build the momentum with everyone, and it's unbelievable to see the energy that continues on here today. Again, on behalf of Caroline and my surprise guests, which were my son and daughter, James and Katie, who drove up from North Carolina last night to be here today, and my niece, Megan, I want to thank you and thank everyone for this award, and it's really on behalf of everybody. Thank you.